Hello. All right. Okay. Here's an overview of week one action. It's going to tell you what I thought about each of the games, and overall, I thought the week was pretty exciting. It was a good opening week for NFL. I felt like the refereeing was a lot more fair to the defense. I saw um, uh, sometimes the defense was able to follow through, or if they already had the momentum going towards the quarterback after the quarterback threw, there wasn't a flag called, and the defense is doing its part and not laying all of its weight down on the quarterback when they hit them and all the rest. So I thought it was good. Um, I took a look at the top 10 running backs from week one, and most of the teams won, except for Washington. Also, um, um, the Ravens. So, two top runners for the week were Jaden Daniels and Lamar Jackson. Um, Unfortunately, that doesn't always translate to a win when a quarterback has very big running stats. Although I think for the Ravens, it still could have equated to a win because it was really close. Um, QB running stats in general are nice, but don't always equate to a win because they can be indicative of other problems such as either lack of protection or poor receiving. All right, so we'll just go through the games here. I'll start with the Ravens and Chiefs. Mahomes was able to overcome some shaky play at points and pulled out the win as usual. Chiefs defense was very good. Ravens had some positives to take away. They now have a double threat at the tight end position and might consider some double tight end sets. Isaiah Likely played amazing. They should continue to play Justice Hill more and save Derrick Henry's legs for the playoffs. I think his size will serve them well in cold weather playoff games. Patriots Bengals, big upset. Patriots still have a really good defense. Um, Kobe Brissett, um, really good game manager. I think that's what he really did. He didn't do anything crazy to make them win, but he didn't do anything to really throw them out of the game either. Um, he avoided mistakes and gave the ball to Stevenson, which was the most important thing. The running back really was the offense and won them the game. So he's somebody to look at for sure. He's really good. Um, Bengals knew the run was coming and they still couldn't stop them. So that's pretty impressive. Texans Colts, some nice tosses by Richardson. It showed some promise for sure. The interception in the red zone definitely did hurt, um, but he's gonna grow. They need to leave him in there. Stroud is very strong, way more confident in his second year. I think this is. Just looks comfortable. They look like they want to do something this year. Their kicker, obviously, had some nice kicks. I think two over 50 yards or something like that. Um, Nice touchdown catches by Diggs. That's what they needed. Diggs is going to be really helpful for Stroud's progression because he provides a good short safety valve for short passes and looks like he'll be good in the red zone. Bills Cardinals. Josh Allen is very resilient and the running backs look good. Defense is a little bit of a concern, at least how they looked in the first game. They looked better this second week in Miami, but I'll save that for next week. Um, but against the Cardinals, the defense looked a bit suspect because the Bills have a goal of the Super Bowl. You have to picture if the Chiefs were in there and Mahomes was making those plays, how much damage would have been done. So, but the Bills, they always have a chance as long as they have Josh, I think. Um, Washington and the Bucks. Baker looks comfortable, very comfortable in Tampa Bay. He looked way better than last year. Actually, fairly accurate, which always hasn't always been a thing for him. Decent accuracy. Looking better at feeling the pressure, making good decisions. Daniels, Washington's QB is very quick, good scrambler, lots of checkdowns, but that'll change with some experience. Steelers, Falcons. Obviously, the Steelers kicker really stole the show. He was the offensive output for the Steelers, but Steelers had a really good defense, opportunistic, and unfortunately, Cousins is still making mistakes late in games to seal the deal the other way. Um, but yeah, Bijan Robinson looks really good. That's a real good upside for the Falcons. Titans Bears. Tony Pollard with good strong running, but it was a gritty win by Chicago. Titans had it in the bag, but that kick return early in the game turned things around, and those untimely fumble recoveries, timely for the Bears, untimely for the Titans. Bears defense, yeah, a lot of picks, special teams plays that won the game. Levis threw too many picks, but he needs to be given space to grow. He has an edgy way of playing and threw some nice balls at times in the midst of the bad ones. Denver Seahawks, the rookie Nix needs some space to grow. He has some good zip on his balls. Needs to get a bit more savvy and careful at times, though. And Geno Smith played decently for the Seahawks, did enough. I liked his one scramble, I think for a touchdown at one point in the game. That was good. He needs to keep exploring that part of his game. Um, Vikings Giants. Donald looked decent. Um, he's usually kind of like a game manager, but it looks like he's trying to expand into a game manager that will take a few chances now because he's a veteran at this point. But he might take just enough chances for them to beat some good teams. We'll know who the Vikings are when they take on a stronger QB. Jones is struggling and will likely not finish the season as a starter for the Giants. There are a couple of picks from him, including a pick six. Eagles, Packers, both teams look strong offensively. Packers would have been a really good team this year if their QB didn't get injured. Hopefully he's back sometime, but see what happens there. Barkley looked really good as a fit for the Eagles. With their offensive line and him, that they're going to be nice. Cowboys, Browns, Dak looked decent, but he always does against weaker teams. Pass rush for the Browns looked good at time. Cowboys defense looked great, but it was playing a struggling quarterback. I don't think the Browns quarterback is going to finish the season either. Um, Raiders Chargers, J.K. Dobbins stole the show along with the Chargers defense. Worry about their offense being high powered enough though to keep up with the Chiefs if that's their goal to win the division. Jets Niners. Jets didn't look very good at all, but the Niners do make teams look bad. They have a history of doing that. Even the Ravens last year were a really strong team, and they looked bad. Like the Niners made them look bad. So we'll know who the Jets are by week 4, and Aaron Rodgers is more settled in. Um, Panthers Saints. Saints defense looks great, but the Panthers QB is not that good, unfortunately. I didn't like the selection a couple years ago. Didn't think it was a good idea, and seems to be right. I don't think Young is going to start the whole year for the Panthers. Um, he's going to get pulled at some point. Carr looked good for the Saints. They actually could be a playoff team if they continue to grow and avoid injuries. Um, Rams Lions, both teams were strong, closely matched. Um, they both have the potential of being playoff teams. The Lions obviously have bigger goals. They're one game away from the Super Bowl, so I'm sure they're looking to win their division and get to the Super Bowl this year. They can if they have to continue to grow and really maybe try to even secure home field if they want to win. I don't think you want to go back into San Francisco again like last year. And but yeah, sky's the limit for the Lions if they can stay focused and beat some good teams. That's all I got, and maybe post one for next week too.